Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. It's another amazing episode of Financipation. This channel is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth. It's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. On this channel, everybody, I give you a six-figure MBA level worth of investing in financial knowledge for free here on YouTube. And things that people typically spend hundreds of thousands of dollars learning in grad school, I give it to you for free here on Financipation. Before I get started, I also want to give a shout out to Kilica Solutions. They're one of my sponsors. If you need digital marketing, website development, or someone to essentially edit your YouTube videos, they're the best in the business. I mean, all of your digital needs. So everybody, I recently just came back from Atlanta and I had the pleasure of going to FINCON, short for Financial Conference 2024, ATL, just like I said, and I was absolutely blown away, everybody, about how dope it was. At the end of the day, it's like this, people. If you want to basically make it to the NBA, you got to play against NBA players. If you want to make it to the UFC, you got to spar UFC fighters. If you want to play professional soccer, you got to play against professional soccer players. Well, as an MBA and a mechanical engineer and a YouTuber and a podcaster and an author, I needed to surround myself essentially with YouTubers, with content creators, and with podcasters. And that's exactly what I did last weekend. And I learned so much. So with that, everybody, let's get started. I'm going to talk about the things that I learned essentially and my thoughts on FINCON 2024. First and foremost, it was extremely nice to be around so many content creators and entrepreneurs and social media influencers. So if you're not familiar with me or my channel, once again, I'm a mechanical engineer by trade and I build billion-dollar products for the federal government. I also have an MBA in finance and I help people with their finance, and I've done that for nearly 2 years. As a result, I started a business called Financipation, and that's what I've been doing roughly for the last, I would say, over a decade. Additionally, I started the YouTube proportion of the business about 2 years ago, and thank God it's done very well. So in my corporate 9-to-5 career as a mechanical engineer, I get to use literally none of my entrepreneur or my MBA or business skills. So if you are not an entrepreneur, you're probably not aware of how differently entrepreneurs and solopreneurs move compared to the corporate America 9-to-5 types. I'm not trying to belittle my 9-to-5ers. It's trust and believe. I have nothing but love for us. But entrepreneurs, everybody, they talk different. They look different. They move different. In a lot of ways, it's almost like walking to like a bar or a club or a lounge or something like that. And everybody is speaking a different but way more fun language. And you're kind of picking up on it. That a lot of corporate America types just flat out don't speak. The first thing that I really liked about FINCON was that it was nice being in a hotel with over 1,000 entrepreneurs and content creators, and we were all genuinely speaking the exact same language of finance and entrepreneurship. And on top of that, we were essentially trying to help each other get after the bag and get it. The next thing that I really liked about FINCON 2024 was one of the contacts that I made for my book deals. So if you're not aware, I'm an author and I've written a few books. One of which is a scholarship book called Scholarships: The Golden Road to Free Money, where I detail and I walk you through how I obtained over $300,000 to go to undergrad for free. My book can be purchased on Amazon, and I would advise any parent that is interested in sending their son or their daughter to college for free to purchase my book and implement the strategies that I used my senior year in high school to go to college for free. So if you are a high school senior or a high school junior, I would highly advise you purchase my book. Over the last 3 years, I have been researching different ways to try to get my book into the hands of colleges all across America and into high school systems all across America, and also into places like Barnes and Nobles. And I ain't gonna lie, everybody, it's been extremely hard to do that. I met two individuals, both are former educators, that have gotten many of their books in the thousands of high schools all across America and the hundreds of universities all across America. And these individuals have told me they would have no issue showing me exactly how they did it. So from a financial perspective, the lucrative opportunities that exist from doing that by getting my books into the school systems and into the universities are tremendous. So as an author, the first thing I really liked about FINCON was that I met individuals that showed me exactly what I need to do to maximize the profit margins for my books and to get them into the school systems, into the universities. And I'm currently doing that stuff right now, everybody. The next thing that I loved about FINCON was they allowed me to finally meet the correct type of financial professionals and the correct type of legal help to help me set up my revocable and my irrevocable trust for my children. If you get a chance, everybody, I want you to check out my podcast on the Rockefeller Method and Trust 101. In that podcast, I chronologically talk about how John Rockefeller used irrevocable trust to create generational wealth for his family and for his kids. And 7 generations later, the Rockefellers are still worth billions of dollars, and he actually has over 20 individuals in his family that are still billionaires. Over the last year and a half, I've been trying to find the correct legal help and lawyers and legal entities to help me set up a revocable trust for my 2 children. And unfortunately, I've had issues doing that. Well, at FINCON, I met lawyers and legal entities that specifically specialize in setting up revocable and irrevocable trusts. So not only will this set my children up for future success, as it will legally protect them from having to pay probate fees and extra taxes when I die and I'm no longer here, that trust also is going to ensure that my children are set up for the best possible way to create wealth for my grandchildren and for my great-grandchildren. The next thing that I loved about FinCon 2024 in Atlanta was that it put me in touch with people that allowed me to effectively create revocable and irrevocable trusts for my children. Next. The next thing that was pretty dope about FinCon 2024 was the amount of female millionaires and female entrepreneurs that I met and content creators that I met. So if you do your research, everybody, the fastest growing group of investors in America right now are Black Americans. And the number one group of individuals starting businesses today in America are Hispanic women. And the number two group of individuals starting businesses today in America are Black women. As an MBA and as an engineer, I've been to a lot of engineering and finance-related conferences and conventions over the years, and they're almost always boring. But it was interesting and a little inspiring seeing how many female millionaires and entrepreneurs I met at FinCon. These are women that literally transitioned from being elementary school teachers, taught kids in the Bronx, and now they are literally deca millionaires because of some kind of books that they've written and some kind of e-products that they have created. These were happily married women that walked away from six-figure careers as CPAs and at law firms, and now they're making around $10 million a year as content creators. People, it's very inspiring. The next thing that was cool about FinCon 2024 was the amount of female millionaires and female entrepreneurs that I met. Before I go any further, please hit that notification bell so you know I drop new content. Please hit that like button, please share the video, please comment, please subscribe. It helps the algorithm, and I thoroughly enjoy giving you guys an MBA level of investing and knowledge for free here on YouTube. Next. The next thing I loved about FinCon 24 is I got to meet content creators that I've looked up to literally for years. So there are two content creators I truly respect, and it was amazing going to the convention and literally just casually walking up to one of them and having a conversation with them, and we were just chilling. One of the guys I met was a military vet that has over 300,000 subscribers. He retired his wife from corporate America, and he's a walking index fund deca millionaire. If you know anything about my channel, I push index funds like crazy. The guy was so relatable and down to earth, it didn't seem real. The dude has ever actually even been to combat. I mean, seriously, one of the nicest men in the world. And I was blown away by just how personable and how nice he was. Another female content creator that I met was a licensed CPA in corporate America. And she got tired of dealing with the isms. I'll let you figure out what those isms are in corporate. So she started her own content creation business, and she started her own YouTube channel. And as a result, her and her husband last year made over $10 million a year. The next thing that I loved about FinCon was how many down-to-earth millionaire content creators that I met and YouTubers that I met who were open and friendly about sharing how they built their channels. And these are the type of individuals that are going to help me take Financipation literally to the next stratosphere. Next. The next thing I loved about FinCon 2024 was it finally allowed me to meet the right business entities that are going to help me give you guys the kind of financial masterclass that I want to give you via an e-product. Ever since I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago, I've been having more and more of you send me private DMs and private messages saying, Chris, when are you going to drop some kind of financial-based e-product that's available for us to purchase and listen to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year? Over the last 18 months, everybody, I'm not ignoring you, but I have been placing ads and reaching out to multiple programmers and app developers, and none of them could give me exactly what I was looking for. And I'm the kind of guy where I'd rather drop something later and make sure it's correct instead of dropping it early and it's wrong. And I also want to give you guys the best possible content because that's what I do at Financipation. Well, during this conference, I identified an all-inclusive program that will allow me to create the kind of financial e-products that my subscribers deserve. And I think it's worthy of the Financipation brand. I'll be giving you guys more details about this over the next couple of months as I work with this developer and build out this financial masterclass program, okay? The next thing I loved about FinCon 2024 in Atlanta was that it introduced me to a computer software program and an app that will finally allow me to bring you guys the kind of financial content, the kind of financial e-product that you deserve. Next. Another thing I loved about FinCon 2024 was that it introduced me to an entirely new income stream that I've thought about, but I never really even considered going into just because I didn't know what was the best way to do it. I had a gentleman stop me and he asked me, had I ever considered public speaking, because he was like, you speak very well. And I saw how you stood in an auditorium full of people and explained to everybody what your business was and what you actually do for a living. And given the fact that I'm a content creator and I grew up in a church, I've always been very, very comfortable speaking in front of people. And I've always been very comfortable being in front of a camera. Another cool thing that I loved about being at FinCon 2024 was that it introduced me to a direct path to an entirely new income stream that coincides with exactly what I'm doing, and I'm probably going to pursue at some point down the road. So don't be surprised, everybody, if you see me doing some professional speaking down the road or being on some TED Talks, okay? Because I ain't gonna lie, it's a very nice way to make more money doing exactly what I love, which is telling people about the ministry of financially emancipating themselves from poverty and building generational wealth. The next thing I loved about FinCon 2024 was the number of lawyers, tax professionals, and legal counsel types that I met that have allowed me to legally and financially position Financipation for future legal and financial success. The CPAs and tax accounts professionals that talked me through the best way to file my revenue streams that I have with YouTube, AdSense, Amazon, and setting up my trademarks were impeccable. Simple as that. So the next thing I loved about FinCon 2024 was the number of lawyers, tax professionals, and legal professionals and business owners that I met who could walk me through the exact way to make sure that my business was covered and that my children and my grandchildren can benefit the most from it. Next, the last thing that I loved about FinCon 2024 was the fact I was surrounded by over 1,000 highly successful, motivated content creators and entrepreneurs for 4 days, and it's opened up so many different business collaborations that you're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks, okay? As a senior mechanical engineer who works in corporate America, I rarely once again get to use my MBA or my entrepreneur business skills for my 9-to-5 job. But one of the absolute coolest things, just like I said earlier, was that for that 4 days, I literally got to tap 100% into my entrepreneurial business mind, and it was amazing. Because it's like this, everybody. If you want to be great, you have to hang out with greatness. And when you're surrounded with very successful, both financially and personal entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and content creators that are pushing their businesses, it creates a synergy that literally inspires you to work harder and to work smarter. So if you're a content creator like me, nothing is cooler than getting advice from a friendly person with over 1 million YouTube subscribers that's very forthcoming with their knowledge. If you are an author like me, nothing is cooler than talking to an author that has sold over 1 million books. If you're an entrepreneur like me, nothing is cooler than talking to an entrepreneur who walked away from corporate America and they're basically explaining to you what the benefits and the pros and cons of you staying in corporate America. And I can say with certainty that entrepreneurs move differently, we talk differently, we act differently, we think differently, and in general, we just feel different. And to all my entrepreneurs that are listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Because if you don't believe me, go to an entrepreneur convention and then hang out with a bunch of engineers or finance majors. It's typically stale, male, and pale. Simple as that. And the last thing that I loved about FinCon was that it was flat out powerful, everybody. Being stuck in a hotel with 1,000 friendly, highly motivated, successful entrepreneurs and content creators. And I will be in Portland in 2025. Simple as that. I'm going to be dropping some very, very cool collaborations and interviews with them down the line. This channel, everybody, is all about making money. It's all about saving money. It's all about building generational wealth, and it's all about financially emancipating yourself from generational poverty. You can book a one-on-one session with me, everybody. The link is below. I'm not giving you financial advice on this channel. You must make responsible decisions based on the thorough, independent research that you do for yourself. Check out my website at www.therealfinancipation.com. My Instagram is @thereal_financipation. My Spotify is Financipation. And my TikTok is also Financipation. My Facebook page is Financipation. And check out my financial blog as well, Financipation. Also, check out some of my digital, my e-products. Please definitely buy my scholarship book. Once again, everybody hit that notification bell below. Please like, please comment, please share, please subscribe. Thank you, Kilica Solutions, for all of these dope graphics. And it's your boy, Chris. I'm out. Peace. Peace. Both. In my case, 90% of my content is finance, but I do have people occasionally reach out to me about relationship-based questions, which delves into like the manosphere, feminism, and stuff like that. And it always invokes hatred on both sides. But it brings people to me into my business. Same thing with these young ladies at the table. They were saying, do you stay focused on your craft or stay focused or float with what's popular? We both agreed you have to do both. So that's kind of something that we talked about. We also talked about basically stay true to the moment. If something is popping right now and it's viral, you gotta make a podcast about that, or a TikTok about that, or a 60-second clip, and somehow bring it into what you do for your business. So that's what we talked about. Awesome.